Hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister NEZE, and this is NEZE Peperempe. Welcome back to another video. Come, is it possible that some of you are following me here without following me on NEZEVILLE channel? Because I just automatically assume that everybody here came from NEZEVILLE. But that is a wrong assumption though. Please, let me sell my market. Let me sell my market like my brothers at Area. If you do not know, I have another channel. In fact, I have two. Apart from this ones, I have NEZEVILLE, where we talk about just current happenings, law. In fact, there are so many things to talk about there. Very informative and very fun. So if you're not following us on NEZEVILLE, I beg, I'm going to leave the link down below. Join us there too, okay? And Africa Folklore with NEZE. Don't worry, we're going to post there very soon. Don't chew me. We're going to post there very soon. So in my previous video, I told us about the criteria that would qualify us for a mortgage in Canada and many Western countries because the systems are very similar. We spoke about residency status, we spoke about debt service ratio, we spoke about employment or income criteria. We also spoke about credit score and down payment. We discussed that very elaborately. So if you haven't seen that previous video, please catch up and come back to this one. So let me assume that those that are here now, after that, what I just said, are those that have watched the previous video. So you have confirmed your residency status, you qualify to buy a house in Canada, you have checked your credit score, it's good enough, you're not a defaulter, you're not a lender's nightmare. You've checked your employment and income eligibility, you are gainfully employed, steadily employed, you have money in the bank for down payments, which perhaps if you are a first-time home buyer, you should have invested in the first home savings account. It's a tax-free account and it gives you a window of $8,000 annually. So I believe that you should know of that, read of that, save your money there, your down payment there. So you have down payment in the bank. You have basically met all of these criteria and you are ready to buy your house. There are two very important persons that would make this your dream a reality, that would make this journey a success. First, your mortgage broker, and second, your realtor. Two very, very important entities in this process. Some people make the mistake of putting the latter before the former. They want to buy a house, they start searching for a home, they engage a realtor, they take to the streets, going for one viewing after the other, or they are on their systems checking for the latest listings of homes, and then they find one, they fall totally in love with it, because homes is like finding a bride, someone that is wife material 1000%, and the person says, I don't want to marry you. It's like, God, I want this thing. So that's how it is when you find the home of your dreams. You just want it. And then these people that are going through this route, when they find this home of their dreams, they then approach a mortgage broker and say, okay, please get me financing. I found a home. And then to their utmost shock, the income doesn't qualify, credit check, 0, down payment, okokobioko, and you find out that you do not qualify for nada. You cannot buy that home that you have spent so much time and energy and emotional investment in. And then you are filled with despair and disappointment because you've wasted both your time and your energy. The very first person to engage in your journey to purchasing a home abroad is your mortgage broker. A mortgage broker is a licensed professional who acts as an intermediary, a middleman between borrowers looking for money to buy homes and lenders willing to lend money to people who want to buy homes. So simply put, they connect people who want to buy properties with people who are willing to give them money to buy. A mortgage broker can be an independent mortgage broker. They do not work for any lender in particular. When you engage them, they shop around, compare and contrast rates from different institutions, and present you the best offer. Or on the other hand, a mortgage broker might be a staff of an institution. For example, most banks, most lenders have dedicated staff that assist to process mortgage facilities for clients. So RBC, for example, CIBC, Scotiabank, they have their mortgage department. And if you walk in there, you indicate your interest to get a mortgage, they would refer you to the mortgage specialist at the bank. Those ones owe their allegiance to that institution. They are staff of that institution. So they're not giving you, or they're not discussing with you what other offers are. They are there to sell their own market and process transactions in that institution. So you can choose, maybe you've done your research, you've seen that RBC is giving the best rates, for example. You can either choose to walk into RBC and engage their mortgage specialist, or you can choose to engage the services of an independent mortgage broker that will help you do the shopping around and present you with the best rates. Your choice. These mortgage brokers have very important responsibilities and roles to play in the mortgage process. They are the ones that would assess your financial situation to ascertain whether you qualify at all for a mortgage, and if you do, how much you qualify for, what you can afford based on your present financial situation. If wishes were horses, we all will fly and we all will ride. Which one is it, fly or ride? If wishes were horses, we all will ride. I, for one, would have picked an island home in Beverly Hills, overlooking the beach and sipping my margarita and pina colada, saying hello to Beyonce and Jay-Z, who are my neighbors. But wishes are not horses. So here I am in Edmonton, the city of Edmonton, and not Beverly Hills. So this mortgage broker will review your credit score. They will check your income, your debts, your finances, and know what you qualify for, basically. So you don't end up like me shopping for a home in Beverly Hills. So you don't have your eyes on a property that you cannot afford. So they shop for the best rates, as I mentioned. They give you the best offer, tell you your options, get pre-approval if it's something you need, give you sound advice, because you're like a novice, especially for those that are buying their first houses. There are so many things, so many ideas, ideologies and concepts that you will not just grab. You need to ask a lot of questions, and that's why you need a very patient person as a mortgage broker and as a realtor too. So they would answer all your questions, explain all the terminologies. What is an amortization schedule? What is this? What is that? You have to ask a lot of questions. You have to read. Don't sign anything without reading, without confirming. They will give you an idea of how much you'll be paying. If you get this amount of money and we spread it for a 25-year period, this is how much you'll be paying monthly. So you will then check, can I carry this load? Is it okay? Is it too much? They would be the ones to give you all the figures. They will also check your situation and let you know who can lend to you, because there are different categories and types and grades of lenders. And if you notice, if you observe, throughout our conversation, I've been using the lender will, not the bank, because it is not only banks that can give money for mortgage or that can issue out a mortgage facility. The first set of lenders in Canada are called A lenders, also known as prime lenders. As you heard their name, prime. They are prim and prime. They are up there, and these are where the big boys are, the big banks. This is where they stay. So they typically deal with people that have good credit score, stable and sufficient income, good employment history. No be, what do you do for a living, madam? I sell, I sell poems on eBay. What of your husband? My husband, he receives stars on TikTok. My dear brother, just come and be going. A lenders are not for you. They have a low appetite for risk. And then we have the B lenders, the second stage of lenders. These ones comprise of maybe provincial banks, There are banks that are not countrywide, they're just provincial. They're in some provinces and not in others. That's where you find B lenders. They are smaller lenders, smaller organizations. These B lenders are for people who didn't meet the strict requirements of the A lenders. Remember I told you that the A lenders like prim and proper transactions. They don't have a effect. They don't have time for So you have the B lenders. They are more flexible. They do not deal with only perfect clients. So maybe you have a bruised credit score here. You have a self-employed person with not too regular income. They can deal. And to make up for swallowing this risk that you come with, because lending is a game of risk. No matter how well planned and well prepared a lending facility is, it can still go bad. So it is risky for the lenders. So to compensate for swallowing this bigger risk that the A lenders were hesitant to take or to swallow, they charge a higher interest rate. So their interest is higher than the A lenders. And then we have the third category called the private lenders below the B lenders. The private lenders are mostly scantily regulated lenders. It can comprise of private mortgage companies that lend out their own money, and this is for people who A, don't reject you, B, don't spit you out. Mana, you have told your village people that come what may, I must buy my house abroad. No matter the condition, even if my credit score is bad, no matter what it is, you see this house, my village people will not prevail. I will buy a house abroad. Private lenders are for you. They have a wider appetite for risk. But just as I mentioned with the B lenders, the interests choke. So as you are going down the cadre, the interests get bigger because you are more risk. But please note at this point that refinancing is possible. So if you enter a mortgage and it's maybe for a 1-year contract period, which of course is renewable, after that 1-year period with say a private lender, and your financial situation has improved, you've gotten a stable job, or so and so, your credit score is better, your financial situation has improved in general, you can choose to not continue with those private lenders. You can choose to refinance. You can choose to move the mortgage rather to a better lender, the A or the B, depending on what the situation is. So if you're going with these private lenders and you see some prospects of things improving in a short while, I don't think it's advisable that you lock that mortgage for a very long time. They will try to offer you a little bit reduced interest if the contract is for a wider period. They might tell you, for example, 4.5% if it's 1 year, but 4.2% if it's 5-year contract. And you'll be tempted, oh, let me lock for 5 years. And within that 5-year period, your financial situation improves, which now makes you eligible for an A lender. You cannot move. If you want to move, you'll be penalized. It will come with penalties. So it takes a lot of wisdom. It takes a lot of planning. For some people now, if they hear that you are going through a private lender, they might think that it's not wise. But maybe you have done market survey and you see that, okay, this house I'm buying now with a private lender is $300,000. But in the next 2 years, when I qualify to go to an A lender, this house might be $500,000. So buying it now might save me $200,000. What is the difference in interest rates from now buying it under a private lender or buying it from a lender? You do your maths, you calculate it, put your amortization. 2 years, the difference is maybe $20,000 in interest rate. You can now see that it now becomes wiser to secure the house under a private lender first before the market changes drastically. So these things just need planning. It needs researching. It needs a certain kind of knowledge, and it can be a lot sometimes. So we've spoken about lenders. Let us go to the next thing to do. So after you've had this conversation with your mortgage broker, he has told you how much you could get and how much down payment you need, and you're sure that you have that money, then you can take the next step to engage the services of a realtor and start looking for a home. Who is a realtor? A realtor is a licensed real estate professional who helps people to either buy or sell houses sometimes even rent. So here on the one hand, we have a list of houses that need selling, and there on the other hand, a list of people that need to buy homes. The real estate agent connects. If we made one great decision in this whole process of buying a home, it is getting a realtor and getting the kind of realtor that we got. A realtor as knowledgeable, vast, and dogged as Mr. Chris. This Mr. Chris in question is an American-raised, American-trained Niger blood realtor. So he is street smart. He's a proper Niger guy that understands sign language, understands the streets, can relate with us as black people. He knows our culture. If we're talking about my mother-in-law, he understands our culture as Africans while possessing the vast experience, knowledge, and customer centricity of an Americana. So it was just the perfect blend of both worlds. He can do the Americana awana with the owners of the homes and the builders, and he can come back to us and speak Pidgin English if that's the best way we need to communicate at that time. So it was just he was just a wonderful person. And I cannot emphasize his input in our process. As I'm talking now, I'm going to be leaving his contacts down below. If you are in Edmonton, or you have any friend, relative, anyone at all residing in Edmonton and they need a realtor, please, he's not a mortgage broker, I know the difference. He is a realtor. And you need someone to help you to find the perfect home, I'm going to leave his contacts. I do not recommend people anyhow, but that Mr. Chris is someone that you would love and enjoy working with. Reach out to him and discuss how. So I didn't say this guy start telling him something else. Please don't fall my handle. Please, we have only responsible people here. Please, I beg you. The business that he does is buying and selling house. So reach out to him. He would help you, he would guide you, and he would, lead you to your perfect home as he did for us. If it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for the kind of realtor we had, we would have made a lot of mistakes. Because there are some houses that we'll see, we'll be like, okay, this one is good now. Look. Instead of him, as the person that is doing waka waka, whether we take that one or we take this one, his commission is his commission. But he had our interest at heart so much that even when we want to make a bad decision, instead of him to go with the flow and bring an end to this touring that we've been doing, he will be the one to dissuade us and tell us, let us go and look for more, despite his time is being wasted. There was this particular house we found, we loved it. We went to the basement. The basement ceiling was so low, as if it wants to touch someone's head. But at this point, we're just ready to manage it. And he was the one that told us, no, don't buy this one. If you want to turn this to a legal suite, you'll have a problem with people that want to rent it. When they come, they won't like it because it will be so compressed. He was giving us tips. You will see this place. He will ask for the plan of the house. He will check the plan. Say, see this place. There's going to be a playground here. It might be too noisy for you. There's going to be a this here. You won't like the way this place is. You might not like this community. Why don't you go to this one? This one is a more peaceful community. This one is more, oh my God. He guided us well until we found the place that we loved. So before you begin your search with this realtor, you need to make a checklist. If not, you're going to get confused, you're going to get bamboozled. Make a checklist of what is important to you, what you're looking for. Like we, for example, you guys know that we had already moved 6 times before we came to this house, and my children had changed schools so many times. I began to feel sorry for them. Yes, they are strong, but they are still children. And I didn't want them to be the new child in school again, joining school in the middle of the session. So I wanted a home that was close to where we're already staying, so we don't have to change school again, change family hospital, change daycare, change, kilo day. So we put that on our checklist, a home around this community, the kind of home we're looking for, the number of bedrooms, what we want in a home, so we can be focused. Because if you just leave your options open, you just be roaming around, you go tired. But when the realtor knows that I want 3 bedroom, don't take me to 1, don't take me to 5, take me to 3, you'll be able to streamline and sieve out options that are not for you. So please have a checklist, have a mental idea of what you want to buy, and do not rush, do not be in a hurry. It might be tiring. Some people enjoy the process of looking at homes, but some find it very exhausting. But please do not just jump at the first or second home you see, or the third home. Look at more and more homes. The more you look at homes, the more you see things that you might like better than the last one you saw. So give yourself time and look at as many homes as possible. I personally do not like looking at show homes, all those homes that have already been fully furnished, because when they will sell to me, no go get all those designer flower. When they finish selling, they'll be like, are you sure this is the same home that we saw there? So all those perfectly furnished show homes that the builders have already tastefully furnished, you might go and see it now, it enter your eyes. Please, when you buy the houses, we don't come with all those designs. So we preferred rather, when we're doing our showings, to see empty homes, plain homes, not already designed show homes. Then what else? Take pictures. We did that a lot. Any home we go to remember, I'll take the picture of it, use my marker on my gallery, picture, whatever, and write the amount, a hint of the address, and just minute on it. So when I'm looking at the pictures at the end of the day, I'll know which is which. If you just go there and you're looking at homes, you will get mixed up. You say, where did I see that home? Is it in Sage Hill, or was it in Carrington? Hey, how much was it? You'll get confused. So take pictures of maybe the outside of the home or the living room and write on it so you can know where was where. So that's a tip that helped us. So after all of the search and everything, and you eventually find a home that you like, it's now time to go back to that mortgage broker that you saw first. Okay, sometimes the seller will request for you to put some kind of payment down. It's a refundable payment, but it's just to show commitment, so they can take that home off the market, or at least put it as pending, not sold but pending, so they can stop entertaining other viewers until the mortgage facility is completed, right? So you might have to do some little deposits from your down payment to the builder. You issue them a bank draft. The realtor will take it to the builder and they would preserve the home for you. They'll give you a certain amount of time for you to finish up with the bank and give them the money so they can give you your keys. Good. So at this point, you're back to the mortgage broker and you're telling him, Ogami, oh yeah, fumi owo, pay me my money, let me go and buy my house. And then the process begins. Plenty of documentation. The mortgage broker is going to ask you for so many documentations. In fact, it can be a back and forth process. This is the part that is tiring. Send this, scan this, screenshot this, forward this. Hey, back and forth, wahala kilo day. It can be so exhausting. So I know transactions differ, different requirements for different transactions. Your own case now might need more documentation. If, for example, part of the money that forms your down payment is coming from back home from Africa, you will write thesis, so you would explain the source of that money. If it was a severance package, gratuity, or whatever from where you worked and retired from or resigned from, you would bring evidence, because they don't want to use laundered money to buy a house. You're very careful, and there's a lot of suspicion. You already know what's up. There'll be a lot of suspicion from from people from if you know what I mean. So you write plenty stories. So if the money is coming from back home and maybe it hasn't stayed a long time here, you have to establish a trace of where the money is coming from. Did you sell properties? They will ask you for evidence. So the documentation can be tiring. It can be cumbersome. At this point, as this process progresses and you're seeing that it's getting leadway, you're almost done, you have to start gathering all your down payment. If you have it in several investment accounts, FHSA here, TFSA here, you have to start gathering it into a single account. You have to ensure that all the other antecedent costs are also available, because apart from the down payment for the house, there are so many other costs that come from closing the mortgage. Your lawyer fees, appraisal fees, inspection fees if you want to, brokerage fee and lender fee. If you use the B lender or a private lender, you are the one that would take up the expense of brokerage and lender fee. So you need to ensure that all of these monies are ready, because the bank will not even disburse or give you money if you cannot show monies that can cover all these other costs. There are lots of documents that you're going to sign, but as I said, please always read before you sign. We read every single thing before we signed anything to avoid I didn't know, to avoid stories that touch. Please take out time and read everything. The mortgage broker will send you a lot of documents. He will send you this service agreement form, that authorizes him to represent you. And then some institutions might want to do an appraisal on the house. I mentioned that in passing in the previous video, where I told you that sometimes the lenders would send people that will come and appraise the house and check the value of the house to avoid mortgage fraud. Because a builder now can be my relative. I'll tell him, okay, let us arrange documents. Present this house as 700 million when the house is just 200 million. Let us take money from the bank as if it's mortgage. When they pay you the money, you give me half. We'll use it and do business, and later we'll pay them back. Mortgage fraud is a thing. So some institutions would come and appraise the house and see whether the appraisal matches what you are saying the house costs, what they want to loan you money for. After that appraisal, there's another one that is called the inspection, which I told you that we did too. It is not cheap, but it is not expensive. If you are making an investment of, for example, $500,000, spending $800 to appraise the house and ensure that the house is in good condition is not too much money. It's not. So for us, we did it. We got an inspection company that came to check. In fact, they will ransack everywhere, from the roof, basement, pipes, wires, floor, everything. They will check it and ensure that that the builders didn't make any mistake, or there's no leakage, there's no problem. Yes, the building will come with warranty, but the major of the warranty on the building is 2 years. So what if there was a defect there that you didn't observe but haven't started causing trouble until the 3rd year when the warranty is over? So that's why you need this inspection to ensure that everything is okay. So we did the inspection next. They give us an extensive inspection report, which we sent to the builders. It is not everything that the builders will address, because the inspection company will raise every single dot to show working. But some things that are not important, the builders might not fix it, might not attend to it. All those small, the door, one thing, no. But if it's something worthwhile, like for example, our garage door was not touching the floor very well when it closes, and that can allow rodents or insects to crawl in. So they had to get someone to fix it, and many other things like that, a number of things like that. So that was what the inspection did. And then there is the waive conditions. This is telling the builder that all conditions that the bank requires us to meet to give us the money has been met, and that the deal will hold. And then you start preparing for closing day. The closing day is a day where the bank would take your down payment, add it to the money they are giving you, and pay the builder, the owner of the building, or the seller. So as you are getting closer to closing day, another very important professional that you're going to need at this point is the lawyer, your lawyer. Legal fees can range between $800, $700 to $1,000, thereabouts, depending on the lawyer. Some people, to save this money, they use the builder's lawyer. You can use the builder's lawyer. He will just do everything together, and but it's very important to note that the builder's lawyer doesn't owe allegiance to you. The builder's lawyer works for the builder, so they're not there to protect your interest. So if there's anything, any unfair clause and anything, they're not coming to tell you, because they are not working for you per se. So we didn't use the builder's lawyer. We hired our own lawyer that did everything in our own interests. So the lawyer will review legal documents. Yes, I'm a lawyer, but it's good to just hand out to a professional that has experience in that particular jurisdiction. So the lawyer has a lot of work to do. Check for hidden and unfair clauses, conducts title search on the property to ensure that the property is not encumbered, it doesn't have a defective title, or it's not in dispute or something. Ensure that there's a good title to be passed to you. The lawyer also has a very important role to play when it comes to passing funds, because you're not going to pay the builder directly or the seller directly. You're going to raise a bank draft in the name of your lawyer. Your lawyer will act in trust for you and pay. Oh my God, it is a process. If talking about it, I'm over tired. I'm over tired talking about it. It is one hell of a process. So while this is ongoing, you have to start shopping for an insurance company. If you already have an existing insurance company, it's always good to add a bundle package and get some discounts. If you do not have an existing insurance company, you need to go shop for an insurance company with a good rate, because you have to insure that property. It's not negotiable, it's not optional. The transaction will not even fly except there is evidence of insurance. So the property has to be insured to give comfort to the bank that maybe tomorrow there's one volcano, or what do they call this thing, that water will come and sweep everywhere, or fire or something, and that building is destroyed. The insurance company will pay the bank back their money. So you have to get an insurance company, you're on the phone getting that done, and when all of that is done, the lawyer gets the money from the bank and pays the seller, and then you can now talk about taking possession. When the seller confirms to the realtor that I have been paid, and then the seller will hand the keys over to the realtor. That was that thing I documented when you saw Chris giving me the key. It's called possession day. So it's always a very happy day, and everybody's just in a joyous mood. After all of this, we finally got this home. So the realtor will hand over the keys to you, and you have officially become an owner, or should we say a co-owner of that property. Maybe in some other video, some other time, I will then tell you the next steps, what you need to do as a new home owner or home buyer, because there's still so many other things waiting for you. It seems like the end, but you can almost call it just the beginning. So there's so many other things that you have to do even after this possession has been given, to eventually, stand gidigba in that house. So yes, that is the process. It's not a walk in the park, but it is doable. It's achievable, and you will do it. Nobody has ever died from doing it. You will do it. So yes, this is partly my experience and partly what I've learned from my process. As I mentioned earlier, the process is different for different people. Let us know down in the comment section what it is or what it was like for you. Which parts did I miss? Share your thoughts down below. If you have any questions also, you can drop down in the comment section. When next I want to do that video about what next to do, then perhaps I might be able to answer these questions. So thank you so much, guys. This video has finally come to an end. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued, for we have so much more coming your way. And for those looking forward to buying their home, buying their first home, or buying another home in Canada, US, UK, wherever you are, I wish you God's favor and I wish you all the best. Okay? Bye, guys.